Hello and welcome to 10 Topics, 10 Minutes on the Anfield Wrap with me, Harriet Prior and Neil Atkinson alongside me. And hello to our lovely YouTube video listeners, whatever you want to call them, watchers. They don't usually get to see this on YouTube, do they? And we sit here and have a lovely time every week, and now we're letting them in on the action.
Yeah, it's out for free, this one. This 10 Topics, 10 Minutes decided to do that just on a whim, as much as anything. So if you like this sort of thing, and to explain the concept, Harriet's going to ask me about 10 topics, and we're going to talk about them in 10 minutes. 1 minute
it's not
per
countdown,
topic.
It looks like countdown.
No vowels, and very few consonants. And within there, we're going to go through the topics that people have suggested from elsewhere. So if you like this sort of thing, download the app, subscribe, so on and so forth. We would like you to subscribe to the Anfield Wrap. If you could crack on and do that, that'd be brilliant.
You can just do it on YouTube as well, can't you?
If you just want the videos, you can just do YouTube.
You don't even need the app, so easy. No. Lots of our subscribers gave us lovely topic suggestions today. Some of them are a bit difficult, which I have pre-warned you about, but to be clear, Neil doesn't know any of the topics.
No, you just let me know that there's some sort of quiz element that's going to come in at some point that I am nervous about, but let's see how we do.
So when we get there, see how many you get at the same time, and then let us know in the comments. Right, I'm going to do a little shuffle of the topics so we don't know what we're going to get. And then we are going to...
We like to build the tension.
We're going to go for it. So, are we ready, Ashley?
We are ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. This is actually a suggestion from in the office. So summer outgoing. So which players are you getting rid of? Are you clearing out with certainty in the summer? Obviously, Firmino we know about already.
So Firmino, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Matip, Kelleher.
You're getting rid of Kelleher, yeah, just for a fee.
For the fee.
Yeah.
We want to get the money in. You've said Firmino already in there as well. I think you do. You possibly take this opportunity, you know, it sounds really harsh because he's done really well at Blackburn, to cash in on Tyler Morton. You do Nat Phillips. Did I say Matip?
You did say Matip,
I did say Matip earlier on, as we've sort of wore on through this.
Who do you think is the most likely to stay out of the ones you said? Carvalho, you're getting rid of already?
Do Carvalho as well. Flip Carvalho. Now, a lot of this sounds harsh, it's just that they're not quite going to fit, and I think Liverpool are going to have to be a bit ruthless in this one to make it all work and move onwards from this point. So I've got to 9. I feel like I'm missing a couple, to be honest with you. Who I missed? Who's contentious and people would
Who do you think is going to end up staying out of those
possibly
ones?
Milner, but it wouldn't surprise me if Milner stays.
I feel like Milner's going to stay. I think Matip might
one.
be knocking around. Right, we've got to move on though. Key things you want to see from a new sporting director. So this was someone in the Telegram group who said about there being a new sporting director for Bayern Leverkusen or something, and he's basically saying, what do you actually want from a new sporting director? Should we even care?
I think it's hard to care because you struggle to, you know, we're not in on the interviews and we're not doing the day-to-day job. I think you need someone who's got an overall vision of where the football club is going to be, I would argue, probably in sort of 3-year chunks. So what does the next 3 years look like? Where does that leave us? What does the 3 years that look like after that? Where does that leave us, and where does the 3 years look like after that? Obviously, the further you get when you're trying to do business continuity planning these days, there's actually a lot of books that now recommend you actually only ever think about 180 days ahead. That doesn't feel smart to me in a football plan.
In terms of your business planning, only 180 days?
You just focus on 180 days and then you have something for the 180 days that follows. That doesn't feel smart to me in terms of trying to run this football club with this big unwieldy beast at this time. So I think you're probably looking in 3-year increments and then the idea of what comes next. But if there are shifts in the sport, then it becomes difficult.
Spoilers of TV shows online, so loads of people have been kicking off. There's been arguments in the office. How do you feel like there should be a time period where the show ends or the season ends, and then there should be a period of grace when no one talks about it, no one gives spoilers, and then after that it's like free reign? Or what's your thoughts on it?
I don't really care.
You don't really care?
No.
So if you're watching a TV show and you're so invested and then you get a spoiler, like are you not angry?
I don't think there's anything that I sort of watch that's habitually weekly now.
Are you not watching Succession?
No, I don't think it's very good.
Have you started Succession?
I've watched 8 episodes of Succession and I've seen bits of Succession.
Ash behind the camera is shaking his head.
I don't think it's very good. I think it's grandiosity and what it's meant to be sort of deeply profound about. I already think that about all these people. I don't think the jokes are that good. I think Succession is... I don't think if I say it's overrated, I can see what... I'm not saying for a second I don't understand why people like it. It just doesn't do anything for me at all. I think the people it's based on are dreadful people who have contributed to ruining the way in which the world functions. I already think that before I watch it, so what's the fucking point?
So you don't watch any series that people are like into that you're anyway?
None I can think of at the minute.
This one is based on your pink yesterday, best and worst Magnum flavour. What did you have in the car first?
So I had a white chocolate one because the options were limited. But
white chocolate one I think is the best Magnum flavour.
I was overwhelmed by how good it was.
Yeah, white chocolate Magnums are the best.
As it wore on, I'm automatically, all of my instincts are towards the dark chocolate.
You usually like the dark chocolate?
In most things, like I like dark chocolate and I like mint chocolate and I like mint and dark chocolate. Ben
do they
Johnson,
do mint chocolate Magnums?
I don't know, but like that's where I end up. I very they do.
Yeah,
Says
they do.
there we are, knowledge. Whereas I couldn't believe how good the white chocolate one was.
What about the worst?
I think anything that they try to whack fruit in as well.
Or not, like it's like they're trying to make it crispy and it just doesn't go, like too much going on.
I think that I can understand how chocolates and raspberries work in theory, but there's a lot of people who are trying to make that happen in practice, and it's a tough gig.
What about just a classic?
I'm happy with
the normal one.
It's Posh Choc House.
Posh Choc Ice. So someone they wanted to know which manager you choose to replace Klopp from managers outside of the top 6 big clubs in the Premier League, and why?
So I've got to pick what. Well, there's De Zerbi, obviously, who's doing brilliantly at Brighton and is really exciting and loves to have a fight and has been sent off loads. So he's got my attention. So I'd definitely seriously consider him as you're moving through. At this point, obviously, Potter's lost his job and has lost a lot of his kudos around that, and the fact that he now just sort of has managed to make himself look like yesterday's man really quickly.
Do you think he'll be back in the Premier League soon?
Yeah, he'll get a job somewhere, you would have thought, at some point.
Frank? Are you a Frank fan?
Wow. Just imagine Frank.
No, not Frank Lampard, Brentford's Frank.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Super Frank.
I know, I'm aware of your thoughts on Super Frank.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be so naive?
Thomas Frank, I like Thomas Frank a great deal. I just think I think at the minute he's really well structured around him, which could also be the case for De Zerbi, and that's what throws you back into the sport director conversation from earlier on. That what you are looking for is the idea of really structured around, but that's tougher at a bigger club.
3 down, and then they've also wanted the 3 that you think might come up from the Championship. I don't know how hot your Championship top of the table knowledge
relatively
is.
Relatively solid.
So you're 3 down from the Premier League and you're 3 up from the Championship.
At the time of recording, so I did have a level of confidence in saying Southampton, Forest and Everton. And then watching Leeds United last night has really put the cat amongst the pigeons for me.
So you're saving Everton, that's the question.
Well, that is genuinely a core thing here, because I can't get over how abject in lots of aspects of football Leeds were. And I think Southampton are nearly gone, but then every time I look at the table, they are a bit closer than I think. I think Leicester will sort it and be all right. I think Forest look a complete mess. So I think it's 3 from those 4 is where I end up. Coming up, Burnley are obviously already up. I'd like Sheffield United and I'd like Middlesbrough. The lovely people in Middlesbrough. Who
else is at the sort of around Millwall up there?
Blackburn are knocking around, and Blackburn would be a laugh as well.
Your favourite goal from the 6-1? Well, just talk through all the goals, basically.
I love the 4th.
Which one was the 4th?
The 4th is where Jota tackles the lad on the edge of the area.
Oh, yeah.
Robertson.
Was that Jota's second?
No, that was Salah's second.
Salah's second?
Yeah, Salah's second.
God, it was only last night and I'm already in the right state. There were so many of them.
This has happened all season. I can never remember the order of the goals after the fact. So no, I like how it works with the pitch. I think it shows that even though he's got to play a bit more of a withdrawn role, if Trent's doing all this, that Robertson can still contribute because he's got blistering pace. It is the underrated Andy Robertson thing. I'm very boring about it. He has blistering pace and he can get you to the pitch. Gakpo shows tons of intelligence and doesn't just thrash at it, but gets it out from under his feet. Finds Salah, and Salah finds the corner. It's a really good, classic Liverpool goal. And it's worth sort of remembering that Liverpool will still do that sort of stuff, even if they are going to change what they're about in build-up play.
I get a bit sad when we score so many goals and they stop celebrating, like when Nunes comes on and scores and no one really cares.
And
I find that a bit sad. I want them to celebrate every goal.
This quiz hasn't come yet, by the way. The tension's killing me.
The tension is there's only 3 left. Trent, so everyone's saying, we don't need to buy a midfielder now because Trent can play in that position.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, well, yeah, so elaborate on why that's ridiculous.
First and foremost, Trent is not playing in midfield, in that he is obviously going to end up in midfield, but then all footballers, to some degree, end up in midfield. Roberto Firmino spent time playing in Liverpool's classic shape, where he would spend a lot of time in midfield. Gabriel Jesus' average position playing for Arsenal is often the 4th or 5th most advanced, not the 1st, and he's theoretically a centre forward. Footballers have to do many, many different things. Trent starts last night at right back, and when play settles, if Leeds have the ball, he ends up back at right back. But of course, he can do all this wonderful stuff. But that's then got to be allied by other midfielders. Henderson and Jones go and play really, really high, which means that the space for Trent and Fabinho to an extent to be able to work. But you still need the footballers who are doing that stuff really, really high. And I think both Jones and Henderson played well. And I want both to still be Liverpool players next year. But Liverpool still leads by 3 midfielders. Nothing's changed.
Another fullback?
Maybe.
Okay,
left-sided, possibly.
Here we go. You've got 1 minute to name as many Premier League managers that have been sacked or departed since the start of this season. There's 12, although 1 has been both.
Okay.
Sacked and departed.
Both sacked and departed. Okay, so we've got Super Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
We've got Graham Potter. who has departed and been sacked. So does he count double or not?
No, just
There's
one.
Antonio Conte in there as well. We then have Patrick Vieira. We'll go to the bottom of the table, where it is worth saying that Nathan Jones has gone. Ralph Hasenhüttl has gone. We'll move ourselves up a place or two, and Brendan Rodgers has gone. And then from there, the side that currently sits in 18th is Nottingham Forest, but Steve Cooper hasn't gone. Frank Lampard has gone. We'll go up another place, which is West Ham. Who was the Wolves manager at the start of the season? Bruno Lage has gone. And then who else, as we move up another place in the table, has gone from there? Oh, that one's really, really tough. Marco Silva's remained in post. Thomas Frank's remained in post. Jurgen Klopp's remained in post.
And the normal one.
How did we do?
8 out of 12.
Who did I miss?
We'll come back to that at the end. We've got one more minute. What is shorts weather?
I think that today is probably short weather for some people.
So disagreeing with that.
Not for me. I mean, there's for instance Ash and Jordan and the lads who like to get the legs out. And I'm saying that today could be short weather for the lads who like to get the legs out, but they can't. But the problem with the weather at the minute,
you just outed them as lads who like to get their legs out.
You can get up at 10 and think, you know what, today could be short weather, but it could absolutely do you in by 2. So at the minute, everyone's playing a bit safe. Everyone's just a bit safe at the minute. They want a bit of a consistent flow, and then. But I think if we get 3 days back to back like today, I'm saying the lads who like to get the legs out.
So you think it like sort of builds?
Yeah. And then
as the way that people grow in confidence.
You grow in confidence.
Yes, yeah.
And then suddenly there you are, the legs are out at every single opportunity. You know what I mean? The boys
when
are
it's still only 10 degrees.
The
but
boys
your
are
legs
strutting
are
around the place, giving it the big one, shorts out, absolutely loving it. And that's what you're going to get. I think we're 4 days away from short weather. Nottingham Forest at home could be short weather.
It could be short weather, right? We might need a little Google here, Sam/Ash, of the other managers that have been sacked. So you've got 8 of the 12. So
okay.
I'm trying to think who we missed off. I know we're coming back to it, and it's not strictly the rules of 10 topics.
It's okay. That's okay.
For the continuity of the show,
of the programming, yeah. I think it's exceptionally difficult. So Scotty Parker, of course. Scotty Parker left Bournemouth. The Touche. The Touche. Of course, yes. There's a double in there as well with Chelsea. Steven Gerrard. There we are. I went to the bottom of the table and Jesse Marsh. There you are. There's the 4 that are left.
Well
Excellent.
done. You did 8 in a minute. Is like seriously
I'm
impressive.
a bit annoyed I didn't get the Touche, but Potter sort of did me head in on that one, and I'm annoyed I didn't get Jesse Marsh. I think Stephen. I think we've all got to sort of forget the Aston Villa thing ever happened for him.
So you're doing it for the sake of Gerrard.
That's that. And also Scotty Parker goes so early, and Gary O'Neill's done so well. I'm not annoyed with those two. I am annoyed I didn't get the Touche.
You did well. I thought you did well. Let us know how well you did in the minute. No cheating. I hope you enjoyed that. As we said, we do this most weeks, every other week at least. So do join us. Either download the Anfield Wrap app or you can join on the YouTube channel, and we'll be back soon.